Hi, my name is Kevin Butler. I'm the Head of Capital Markets for Ocorian in Europe. I'm joined today by my colleague, Anatoly Sorin, who's the Head of Nordic Trustee UK.
Hello, everyone. So, good morning, Kevin. Could you give us an overview of Ocorian and Nordic Trustee business and how it evolved over the last couple of years?
Our philosophy is centered on finding solutions for our clients. We prioritize operational excellence and then building relationships with our clients, very much with a view to building long-term relationships and growing with them. Our pillars of our success are our fiduciary, SPV management, our agency and trust business, which we operate through the Nordic Trustee, as well as our analytics business. We offer capital market services now out of 10 offices across Northern Europe and North America. Approach really has been to grow the business by hiring the best talent we can find in each of those locations and then giving them the tools to be successful, both for themselves as well as for our clients. And during the last 12 months, all of our offices and all of our teams have grown across that market. Maybe, Anatoly, if you can give some insights in relation to some of the activities that we went through and achieved over the last 12 months.
I mean, this story has been of growth, and that's been very satisfying to help build out this business, because we've focused on our loan agency book, which has grown very significantly over the last couple of years. We've also launched our bond product, which is very rare for an independent to do, and we can now issue excess ISINs into the clearance systems, we can settle them, and then we can administer everything after that. And where I've seen really interesting growth is in the SRT space. We have what I call unparalleled expertise amongst the independents here, so it's really helped us to grow that book of business successfully. And then I sometimes, working within the Nordic Trustee and Ocorian setup, I sometimes compare my job to playing Lego, actually, and I get paid for it as well. Insofar as that we have a lot of those pieces that we put together to structure solutions for our clients, and it's been really successful. So we have this one-stop shop solution where our clients can come to us and have an SPV and bond issuance and full administration done under the same roof, which is now constitutes more than half of our business.
I know over the last 12 months, we completed a number of different surveys, client surveys, an aviation finance survey, and an infrastructure finance survey. The interesting thing in relation to all of those surveys is just points to a market that continues to grow and develop. Interestingly enough, if I touch on the aviation survey for a moment, we completed that survey in January, so just before the conflict broke out in the Middle East, and 100% of respondents expected the market to either maintain its financing or to grow. 85.5% expected it to grow. So huge positivity within the marketplace. But looking at the deal flow that we now see coming through our book in Ireland, actually that positivity has been borne out. And it just shows the resilience of the global credit market across, like I said, across Europe and across the North America. As we look forward to the next 12 months, and maybe touch a little bit on some of the things that kind of interest Ocorian, very much we're looking at how we can improve our operations, looking at AI, digital infrastructure, what we can build from our own teams within that space. Some of the things that we're kind of investigating at the moment and looking at transaction management. How do we review docs in a clear, efficient manner? Data transfer, taking out the key data points from underlying transaction documents and then inputting them automatically into our core system so that, again, we're able to give that operational excellence to our clients. We're able to allow our people more time to grow and to develop those relationships with our clients. It's really interesting to say that we continue to investigate what it does and how we can continue to develop that market.
So just to pick up on that, I think it's been very interesting to observe the changes that are already happening in this industry. There's a huge amount of pressure on everyone to reduce costs. That's one big aspect that we keep hearing from our clients. From our standpoint, this means that you have to run a very lean business. So you cannot overhire. You have to work with what you can. But also the AI solutions that are coming in are helping us do exactly that. And it's been interesting that the AI solutions we have seen, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. You've got to be very selective, and then once you find a solution for a specific process, then you keep going iteratively until you fix a lot of the processes. And that's the story we expect to continue over the next, well, actually, maybe forever now, because that's the new norm. But also, just on the other side, you know, in our market, you can never stand still, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, because it makes the job easier. So innovation is a huge part of what we do. And for us, we have, as you mentioned earlier, we have very experienced people here, and we've been very selective in hiring more experienced people. So now we're pushing into new areas where our one-stop shop solution can be expanded into transactions, the SRT transactions, maybe some private ABS, MBS transactions as well. So that's somewhere that we're coming into. We're already building out collateral administration solutions as well in-house. So that's all to come, something to look forward to.
The next 12 months feel like they're going to be a really interesting time to be an Ocorian and Nordic Trustee. And it's interesting enough, just we look at the market, like I said, we obviously had quite a significant slowdown, generally speaking, in the market. But we've noticed within our own book is pockets of the market have continued to boom and to develop. You mentioned SRTs. We're now seeing a rebound in our CLO business in the US and Cayman. I mentioned earlier the aviation business that we're seeing to continue to grow. But also, interestingly enough, in the last few weeks, we're starting to see deals that had been put on ice earlier in the year are now starting to come back to life. Hopefully, it'll be the green shoots of another busy H2. But I'm looking forward to the next 12 months.
No, absolutely. I think all of that pent-up demand is there. It's not gone away. A lot of our lender clients have been saying for a while now that they have a lot of money to deploy. The money's still there, and there are still good credits out there. So the industry has gone through a bit of a correction, but it's a very resilient industry. And while the era of cheap money is probably over, the private credit industry continues to fulfill a very important financing function in Europe and actually throughout the world. So it's here to stay, and it will grow. Maybe not as quickly as it has grown to date, but certainly this is a story of continuous growth.